They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon. You know, I want to welcome the governor back to Cleveland. He's been up here quite a bit, and every time he comes is good news for Cleveland, so I want to welcome him back. You know, we most recently we were at Euclid Beach on the east side of Cleveland, and when the governor turned Lakefront Parks back over to Cleveland, again on the lake, great event. I think earlier, about a year ago, we were up by Battery Park, where the governor talked about things. Now we're here today to talk about the West Shoreway and how much that means to Cleveland and this entire area, the Edgewater community, because this is part of our plan to make the center of Cleveland the Lake of Cleveland. Meaning no more east side and west side, but really everything emanating from the lake and having the lake as a focal point. And the governor's investment in this will take us a long way in getting there, and will also support all of the investments that have happened, whether it's in Detroit Shoreway, Edgewater, that really looks at access to the lake. And there's a lot of investment that's occurred in order for that to happen. So I want to introduce to you the councilman of who will be representing this area once the lines are redrawn, and Councilman Zone.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Governor, for being here with us. You got a nice tan here. You look like you got a little sun there. Councilman Westbrook, my good friend and colleague, to my colleagues in public service, State Representative Nikki Antonio, State Representative Bill Patman, State Representative Michael Foley. Today is a great day, and to all of you who have joined us here on this beautiful sunny day. As you can see, this backdrop, it's breathtaking, and there was a real dream and vision by city leaders over a decade ago. You know, how can we, as the mayor said, take advantage of this wonderful public asset, the lakefront? It is so precious to all of us, but we always had two impediments to getting to our lakefront. We had a high-speed highway, which is called the Shoreway, and we had a high-speed rail line. And there has always been impediments for residents to get to the lakefront. And in December of 2001, I remember going to my very first lakefront planning meeting. That was December 2001, and this is now 2013. There's been a lot of promise, a lot of commitment on many people. I'm very thankful, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention former Governor Bob Taft. Governor Taft and his former ODOT district or central director, Gordon Proctor, made a commitment to the residents of the city of Cleveland that the state was going to invest $50 million to remake our lakefront. Well, you know the story. We had some turbulent times. We had a lot of projects that the state had to fund, the city had to fund, and there was more projects than we had funding available. And I want to just thank the governor for being able to work out this funding mechanism to happen, because if it wasn't for that promise over 10 years ago that the lakefront plan was going to happen, you wouldn't have, see that tall smokestack over there, the name Battery Park on there, you wouldn't have a developer like Chip Maroose and his family invest over $100 million to take an old brownfield site and turn it into residential housing. You wouldn't have the creation of the Gordon Square Arts District, because everything that we did in the Gordon Square Arts District was predicated upon connectivity to the lakefront. This neighborhood that I'm fortunate to serve is in the midst of over $500 million of new economic development activity. That's new housing, infrastructure, and jobs that have been created. 77 new businesses since 2006, and all of that was tied into this lakefront plan. Today's a great day, and you don't necessarily need to hear from me. We all want to hear from the governor as to the funding and how this is all going to happen. And I'm really excited and thankful for Governor Kasich, your commitment to our city of Cleveland. Good luck. Look, you have a ladybug on you.
That's right.
That is good luck. Look at that. He's got a ladybug on his lapel. We'll leave that there. No, but today is a great day, and I do want to just mention, after the first year, the city is going to be losing a great public servant. He's not going away. My good friend and colleague, Councilman Jay Westbrook, has decided not to run for re-election. I will be moving all the way west to 117th, so I'll start at the mouth of the Cuyahoga and have the whole west side area. But I've learned so much from Jay. Jay, there is no more caring and compassionate person who served in the time that I've been in office than Jay Westbrook. He truly is a strong advocate for this neighborhood. He's somebody who truly cares and teaches me every day to be a better elected official. My friend, Jay Westbrook.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Governor, you can see why we love this community so much. And I, first of all, want to acknowledge the third council person, Joe Semperman, who was not able to be here today. But us three amigos have been here working on this vision, as Matt says, for the last 10 years. I also want to acknowledge Jack Schron from the County Council. County Council is very much a partner, the owner of Whiskey Island, and a great believer in this connectivity. And a person who embodies the organization now that is helping make this connectivity happen is Brian Zimmerman of Metro Parks. And Brian, you've certainly transformed this location and made it what it deserves to be. Thank you. Thank you. Too often transportation is about disconnection and about division. It's about getting people from A to D, but they miss B and C in between. What we're talking about here is honoring the people that have believed in and seen the vision for this community. This is about making the vision become a reality. We have Linda Meglin from the Edgewater homeowners. There's so many residents from the Edgewater community. Linda, give us a shout out, and all the wonderful folks there. The Baltic Clifton neighborhood, so many residents here. Jeff Ramsey from Detroit Shoreway, and Anita Brinza from Cadell Improvement. These are the people that have shaped this vision over not only the decades, but I want to share with you, Governor, this is the third phase for this wonderful transportation artery out here. First was the Bulkley Boulevard, a beautiful promenade that brought people from the neighborhoods to this park and to this wonderful asset that we call Lake Erie. Then, in the 50s, our love for the car said we had to turn that into a freeway. So Bulkley Boulevard became a freeway. Well, fortunately, the federal transportation system caught up with time and so-called progress and built I-90. And if that wasn't enough, they built 480. And then they built 490 also. So these muscular transit arteries have taken the place of what the 50s they tried to design as a freeway. It's time now that we take it back, that we return this to the community, return it to the vision of a connector artery that connects people from home to work, from suburbs to city. and most importantly, connects people to this great asset out here. That's why we're gathered here, because this is where we're headed. We want to be on and at the lakefront. Two people have really taken this on. Mayor Jackson has talked about the shoreway as being the key that unlocks his entire vision for connectivity to the lakefront. Connecting Public Square to the lakefront, getting over the shoreway, under the shoreway, around the shoreway, somehow getting to that lakefront. And it starts right here. So, Governor, the next few years, we need the resources that you're pledging. We need the partnership with ODOT to continue this journey. And we want you to look out here and see that we're ready for the task. We're hopeful for the task, and we're looking forward to making this vision become a powerful, strong reality for Cleveland in the 21st century. Governor John Kasich.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure you're not running again?
That was a good speech.
You do that every council meeting?
Just every council meeting.
Jeez, oh man, that
While I'm
was
brushing
just,
my teeth in the morning.
well, first of all, you know, get a good picture of that. You know, we've heard a lot of things about Cleveland over the last 25 or 30 years in the national media, which has been unfortunate and inaccurate. Look, I mean, that I can't help but keep looking at this incredible lake, the incredible shoreline, and look at the magnificent city. And you know, when I was first elected, I came here and said, you know, I want to do everything I can to work with the people here to make Cleveland as great as it can be, and really, frankly, to restore its greatness, because it was once was one of the great cities in the country, and it's on its way back. And I was in Cincinnati yesterday, and I excitedly told them, Mayor, that you can't even get a place in downtown Cleveland anymore. Everybody wants to live downtown. Cleveland is coming back. And if the Indians make it, I'll take credit for that as well. First of all, you know, when I'm standing here, we were at Battery Park at the Interbelt Bridge, and then I'm standing here with the mayor, and we're looking at this whole project, the magnificence of the city and the lake, and it takes me back for me to think about this guy who grew up in this tiny urban neighborhood. No one ever would have dreamt at that time that he was going to be mayor of Cleveland, right? No, who would have thought? Your mom and dad never thought you'd be mayor of Cleveland. I mean, and I'll bet some days he wakes up and it's hard for him to believe that he's the mayor of Cleveland, because it's pretty remarkable. So he's had this vision, and I know other people shared the vision as well, but it's been his vision about what should be done to really rebuild Cleveland, which is an unbelievable opportunity for somebody to come from the neighborhoods and have such a profound impact on where we are today and where we're heading tomorrow. Greg Murphy is with me. He's with the Ohio Department of Transportation. I'm really glad that we were able to do what we did with the Turnpike. Despite the fact that there were many naysayers and obstructionists, we were able to get that through. And as a result, we're beginning to reap the benefits of the fact that we used common sense and put politics aside to get the resources we needed. And as Matt noted, I think we were short. I don't even remember how much money, because all these promises had been made, but there weren't any resources to fulfill them. And then so I announced that we didn't have the money for them, and somebody said, well, did you take all the money? No, we just told the truth. And then with the Turnpike and with the efficiency of ODOT, now let me explain what this means. When the states carry out all of their projects and they have additional projects to move forward with, there are other states that have not been as good. As a result of that, Ohio has reaped this year $72 million that we frankly have reclaimed from other states. Because they did not do their job, they were not on top of their projects, we get an additional $72 million. And the money that's going to go in to completing this project comes about as a result of the fact that ODOT was efficient. That they knew what the projects were, they executed them, and then when the money was gone, they presented their case to the federal government, and we're one of the top 5 states in America that reaped this benefit of $72 million. I've got some other news here today for you, Mayor, and that is with the completion of your project. You've already put $4 million into this project. You're expecting to put another $3 million in. Keep it in your pocket, Mayor. You don't need to spend it.
Whoa.
Okay, you don't need to spend it. So we can spend it on some things around here that are really important, and we can do it. You still have put your money into it, as you have with this project all along, to carry out your vision, and it makes sense. Now, there were 3 projects that came to us from the city: the Inner Belt Bridge, the Opportunity Corridor, the Shoreway Project. Now, we add that up, that's about $800 million being invested. $800 million being invested in the infrastructure. For what purpose? For one reason: it's jobs. I mean, this Opportunity Corridor, which was only a faint dream of ours, is going to happen. And you think about unlocking that whole area and how many jobs are going to be created. Think about now with what's happening here, we will have additional tourism in Cleveland. People will want to come and travel and see this place. So it's about economic opportunity. Just to build things without having the jobs created, you know, might as well have a museum. And part of what's happening in Cleveland is that we're getting the jobs back here. People are getting excited about our town. So young people who we're so hungry to not only keep but also to attract, they can come and live in Cleveland with the jobs, the great job creation we've seen, along with just a magnificent city that can compete with any city, I believe, in the country. So this is all, you know, really good stuff. Now, let me also tell you that at the end of the day, this is the mayor's vision. You gotta have a mayor with a little vision, and you gotta have a partnership. And I've always enjoyed being here with the mayor. And I want to just, you know, this is kind of off the subject here, but let's wrap this up by saying these projects are going to be funded, the resources are going to be there, the jobs are going to be created in carrying them out, and the jobs will come from the additional economic activity. There's one other challenge that we have here in this city right now. Everywhere I go, not just in Ohio, but anytime I travel to any other part of the country, I am so happy to have been part of the Cleveland School Education Plan. Folks, we have to make this work.
Yes.
It has to happen. There have been a lot of promises made. They have to be fulfilled. No obstacle can get in the way. I believe that the Cleveland School Reform Plan is the boldest reform plan in an urban city in the north of the United States of America. And it stands as a model. Believe me, it stands as a model to other cities and other regions all across the country. Because of the mayor and the business leaders, we got the plan passed, and the union, everybody together. Columbus has now followed up. Youngstown just called me the other day, and they're thinking about it. And I'm inviting in Cincinnati yesterday, the same thing. Study the Cleveland plan. You don't have to have the Cleveland plan, but look at Cleveland. It is the benchmark for how to do things. 30% of our kids who start in the 9th grade never graduate. We can't have that. And by the way, 60% of that 30% couldn't read at the 3rd grade level, which is why we have the 3rd grade reading guarantee. It's why we're emphasizing more now vocational education. But the beautiful thing about the Cleveland School Plan is the entire community pitched in on behalf of the kids. And I just tell you, it is fantastic, Mayor, what's been done. And if we can carry this out, it's going to be a beacon for the entire rest of the country. So things are moving in the right direction. 3rd string quarterback wins a football game. Cleveland's on the cusp of making the playoffs. The weather today is perfect. The infrastructure's being done. and our kids are being given a chance to realize their God-given hopes and dreams. It's just a great day for Cleveland. I'm just so proud to be a part of all of this, and thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council, for your friendship, your help. God bless you, and it's onward and upward here in this part of America. Thanks.